Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Kurt Jacobson, the Fast and Furious cook, and today we're going to make mushroom chowder with maitake mushrooms. Now, you don't have to use maitake mushrooms, but they have great cancer-fighting properties, and that's why I like to use them as much as I can. You could use button mushrooms or cremini or even shiitake in this, or a blend of all of them. It's a little tricky cutting maitake. You have to cut the stem off, and then it's real easy to take it apart. You barely even need a knife. You can pull it apart, but what we want is to get chunks about like this size, since this is a chowder and not a pureed mushroom soup. All right, now we're going to move on to the sauteing part of this. All right, this has been cooking about 3 minutes with the mushrooms in it, and they're already starting to reduce. This will take about anywhere from 12 to 18 minutes or more to cook down the juices out of the mushrooms. It's been about 14 minutes, and now you can see that there's no water when I scoot the mushrooms out of the middle of the pan. That means we have enough of the water cooked out of the mushrooms to add the flour. And we're cooking this the whole time on about a medium-low heat. We're just going to stir in the 3 tablespoons of flour. This will give us a thickening quality to it later on when we add the liquids. And that's 3 tablespoons of oil to 3 tablespoons of flour. But if you want it thicker, a thicker chowder, a more creamy, thick soup, you just add 4 tablespoons of flour and 4 tablespoons of oil. But I'm okay with less calories and a not so thick chowder. Now it's absorbed all of that flour, and we'll just kind of stir it every 15 seconds or so for about the next 3 minutes. Okay, now that the flour is cooked in for a few minutes, we're going to just go ahead and put this all together. I'm going to add the water. I'm going to add the half and half. And I'm going to get this here better than bouillon chicken base in here. That gives us some salt and some flavor. And I have the white pepper, spike, and thyme ready to go here. We'll stir that in. And it's important to stir the bottom of the pan, scraping it pretty good to get the flour that's kind of caked on there off. And then we'll carefully plop all these potatoes in here so we're not splattering. Then it's going to go back to the stove for about 10 minutes and it'll be soup time. All right, it's been about 8 minutes and the pot is starting to simmer. You can see it just barely here on the edge. Now, what that means is once it starts simmering, it's going to be as thick as it's going to get in the next 2 or 3 minutes. And this is on medium heat. We've been stirring it about every minute or two. It's simmering nicely now on the edges. And this is about as thick as it's going to get because, like I said, I don't like a real fatty, high-calorie, thick chowder. But you can add more flour to it and in the beginning stages, like I said, and you will get a thicker chowder. I think you'll find this to be a hearty, delicious soup. Okay, our chowder is done and it smells great. To finish it off, I recommend sprinkling a little parsley on top. Fresh chopped parsley is good looking and it's good for you too. Now this took about 45 minutes from start to finish, so that's a pretty fast homemade soup. And this is made with them beautiful mushrooms I got from Phillips Mushrooms in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, the mushroom capital of the world. If you can't get mushrooms from them, well, at least you can get them from your grocery store, and yours will be just as good as this. And be sure and go to my website, www.fastandfuriouscook.com, to check out this recipe and many other fast, healthy, simple recipes you can do at home. Thanks for joining me.